Hey everybody, watch this review here with a look at the Baron Zemo from the Marvel Legends Mojo series, or Wave. See, I'm used to calling it Wave, but technically speaking they actually do call it series, so I guess what arose by whatever another name, but actually I really can't use Rose to describe Baron Zemo now, can we? It'd be a bit weird, but I picked him up for $5, another $2 shipping and handling, because of one of those bundled deals from bundled shipping from one of the usual places I get from. I don't buy from them very often because I hate their shipping policy, because it's like $9 for the first one, it's like $2 additional for each one after that, and they take forever to ship them there. And then of course or it just takes forever to arrive. I don't know if it's technically their fault or the other fault, but I'm starting to ramble. He's got 34 points of articulation. And in general, actually, when I'm just buying online, I like to pay, when the total shipping cost gets to be over half of what you're paying for the figures, I don't like that much. I can understand if you're just buying one figure, but when you're buying a bundle, you should technically be saving a goodly amount on shipping. But as you can see, this line does come with Longshot, Cyclops, who I already have. Longshot, of course, connects to Mojo. I don't know why they didn't bring out Spiral in the series, but we did get Spiral later on, courtesy of Hasbro, which I was happy about, even though it was Hasbro. But it actually looked pretty decent. It just didn't have the usual amount of articulation, and actually Cyclops looked horrible from this series, so it probably was a better thing that Hasbro got, because Hasbro can sculpt females better. Out of the series, the only other one I do have right now is the Cyclops, as mentioned. I actually have the Mojo, got him loose. I don't think I'd actually be interested in many of them. A Longshot maybe, but first appearance of Iron Man doesn't do it for me. I don't know too much about the Falcon and Luke Cage. Yeah. Well, I've only used them like Marvel Legends. I mean, not Marvel Legends, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but yeah, I'm gonna open this figure up and then I'm going to discuss him, so hold on. By the way, I can't remember if I've mentioned this or not yet, but he's billed at 34 points of articulation. Here's the Mojo piece. It's the upper torso. I mean, Mojo is actually a terrible looking build-a-figure just in terms of there's just paint bleed all over. You can see it a little bit here, but I mean, it's really awesome that we're getting Mojo, just because Mojo's one of those villains that you kind of want. But he comes with one of the accessories, little staff here. For those of you not familiar with Baron Zemo, shame on you. Now, although he does heavily resemble Cobra Commander in some senses, just because he's got that whole thing covering his face, he actually predates Cobra Commander by a good 15, 20, maybe 30 years. He's one of the old school Avengers villains, and he was the original leader of the Masters of Evil, as actually shown right here. And yet I don't believe he appeared in Marvel Ultimate Alliance for Doom's Masters of Evil, but I think there were like 4 iterations of Masters of Evil. He also was the one who gave Wonder Man his powers, so gotta toss some props out there. Of course, he wanted Wonder Man to use those powers to destroy the Avengers, but you know how those things go. Villain one day, not a villain the next. The backboards in this series all have dioramas. This one is just a sort of lab environment. I didn't appreciate that fact with the Cyclops, but I do. I hate to say it, but I don't recognize like one character for this iteration of Masters of Evil. I mean, I do remember some of the guys, but I don't know, it's... Wow, I feel really... my brain's probably spasming or something. The guy on horseback looks really familiar, but the other ones, it just aren't ringing any sort of a bell, but... I mean, this wave was kind of suspect in terms of just general all-around quality. So I didn't think like any of the really sculpts were all that spectacular, which is why I was hesitant to pick a lot of them up, but... I mean, Baron Zemo being one of the cooler villains I kind of wanted. But as you can see, he has articulation at the fingers, but it's kind of a hokey motion. Wrist articulation, obviously, both in terms of whoop, 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 and knuck, 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 knuck. Double jointed at the elbows, both pin joints. And go with fair deal as they can. The paint detailing is actually pretty hot. It's blue, heavily speckled with black for a sort of aged cloth look. That was actually a pretty nice looking touch. Bicep rotates a full 360 if you want it to. I never go through the full 360. Standard ball joint. It's not impeded by anything. Really goes out there. I don't know what you'd even call this thing up here. This like bola thing, but it's glued on there, so you can't move at all. Head should move, and there it goes, but mine has some paint errors. I don't know if it's scraped or what have you, but there's some red on the gold crown thingy. And it looks like there's dust up there too, but it comes with a pistol as well. But it looks like it's glued in there. Oh yeah, it's glued in there. So he comes and doesn't come with a pistol because you can't actually remove it. You'll notice that his right arm looks a little bit different, at least at the hand. That's because he's supposed to be able to grip the scepter right here. Which I haven't been looking to make sure I'm in shot all the time, but shoot. No, that's actually how it's supposed to go. Doesn't look like there. I mean, it should have a point of articulation here. I'm not sure why it's not going. It must be kind of painted in, but you can see a pin joint here, so he should be able to get the hand closed once you put this in here. You'll notice that there's a peg which helps that connect. It actually comes bent like that. I don't know why. I'm not sure what significance is. I mean, I haven't read anything with Bear and Zemo in so long, I'm not even sure what the scepter is for anymore, but my memory is kind of crap. The belt is just absolutely tacky. I mean, they used a glitter effect, same as the rod actually, as opposed to just giving like a solid golden color. So, the bottom of the tunic here looks like it's a separate piece, but I'm not feeling waist articulation. He doesn't have it, it looks like, but the ab/diaphragm joint does move. Leg will be partially impeded. I mean, it moves at the hip. It's a good clean movement as opposed to some of the other ones, even in this line, which had used a slightly different ball joint for the leg. Double joint at knee, obviously. And, weird looking paint defect. The boot will, I mean, it's actually technically at the calf here, but the actual cut comes at the boot will rotate like that. Ankle moves like that. And he's got that little thing to allow his foot to travel this way and that way. I mean, I actually hate that, but whatever. He's got a toe joint, but I'm not going to mess with the toe joint because I like the default toe position on most of these figures. I'm really not a toe joint fan at all, but yeah, he's actually a pretty decent looking dude. And, you know, he's actually a pretty cool character. I can't remember a ton about him right now. But, you know, memory comes and goes. I blame age, but I don't think I'm terribly old. I guess you supposedly start losing memory a bit after 20, so I'm a good deal after 20, so maybe it is the memory starting to go, but yeah, pretty decent looking figure.